displaced anxiety. That's pretty self-explanatory. Displaced anxiety, in other words, he learned he can't get away from that. But he knew that that had to get him first. And once it got him, he couldn't get away from it. Didn't mean he wasn't scared, just meant he couldn't run. So when he sees the next thing, even if he wasn't or would not have been as frightened of, say, that mud puddle, he's going to be more frightened of it now because he doesn't want to get stuck and have somebody rub a mud puddle all over him. Okay.
Let's see. We'll get into that as we work a horse.
Let's get a horse out and play with it a little bit. So what's important to your life and your existence? I don't think necessarily determines your intelligence. If you don't figure it out, you don't exist. Not very intelligent. Come on, man. Let's go. Come on, it's okay. Horses are very interesting, and why people do so well with them and we like them, I believe is because they really have a tendency to mirror us if they are given the opportunity. We spend a lot of money on biofeedback units. We spend money on therapy, both physical therapy and emotional therapy. And yes, there are therapeutic riding programs with horses. They've used them in prisons. They say next to swimming, it's about one of the best exercises you can have. But there are more things you can do with horses besides sit up there, bounce around, and try to stay on top. There's an interaction. It's a lot more fun. You start to figure out how they think and a little bit about their personalities. You'll find they have a sense of humor. But their most important quality and most valuable is the empathy that they have available to them.
It's okay. Go ahead.
To be a good trainer, to be a good communicator, you first
Just
have
walk
to be
through
a
if you
good
want.
listener. Part of that will let you know how what you are doing is being perceived. Because who gives a darn how you meant it? I think it's probably more important how it's understood. And depending on a horse's social structure, social status in the herd, their perception or how they take something that you do to them, towards them, around them, may be different. Good. It's okay. You come with me? Sure. I'll take you.
Yes, go ahead.
Some of the things that we do with these horses, lunging, for instance. How many people follow the horse while holding the end of the lunge line? Good for it's okay. But if you don't get through there, that gate's going to blow shut, see? They follow that horse on the end of that lunge line, facing the horse and bringing the whip up behind. It's a pretty common thing, isn't it? Kind of how we see it in all the books. You face the horse, you make like a piece of pie, you know, and you make like a piece of pie, and if you want the horse a little faster, you bring the whip up further or closer behind him, right? Everyone's seen that? And so we're actually chasing that horse around, right? We don't think anything of it. But that's what predators do. Another prey animal would never chase that horse around because it's the space that that horse occupies that's the food source, not the horse itself. So defining yourself to your horse, especially these wild horses when you get started, is probably the most crucial foundation to go to work on. For instance, when he moves a little bit and he says, I'm going to come this way, I say, great, let's go this way together. Good boy. If he stops, I say, wait, I don't want to go by myself. And he says, well, keep going, I might follow you. And I say, okay, come on. Oh, come on, son. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Hey, no, watch right here. Good boy. Good. There. Good boy. Come on. No, me. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. Good. No, no, no. Oh, you're in trouble there. Good boy. I only have 3 rules that are negative, and those are: you don't strike me, you don't bite me, you don't kick me. That's it. Other than that, express yourself. We went to the barn, not the library, right? Good boy. Good boy. Here. Here. Good boy. Good boy. That's it. Up, up, up. Good. There you go. No, no. Good boy. Good. It's all right, really. Good. Good boy. Good boy. It's okay. You're a good boy. What? Are you worried? No. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, this fella, he's in the aisleway because they said that he would probably be the most likely to fight. And he's already told me that a couple times. He says, you know, if you push too hard, I'm going to land in your lap. And I said, buddy, I looked at him real innocent and says, if you can really find a reason to, horses are really good about that. They're realists. They don't think, oh, he's going to kick me, so I'll kick him first. No, that's kind of more of a human thing. They wait till they're kicked. Then they kick the snot out. But they don't normally discipline or become aggressive without checking out all their other options. No, no, it's okay. It's okay. Good. It's all right. Good boy. Go ahead and shut that gate. Good boy. There you go, son. Right here. Up. Good boy. Good boy. That'll work. That'll work. Now, I know, but it'll be okay. Trust me. It'll be okay. Really, could turn this down just a little bit and everyone still be able to hear? Good boy. It's okay. Good boy. It's okay. It's all right. I'll let you do it. Okay, one of the things that I do with the type of training that I promote, I kind of avoid the round pin scenario due to the fact that it's very difficult when you're standing in the middle of a round pin for the horse to find a spot where there's less pressure, right? Because they can't get any one point that's further away from you than the other. And so there's no release and tightening without you doing it. And I don't want to be the source of the pressure. I want to be the source of the release. I want to be the good guy, the guy with the answers, not the one with the problems. It'd be nice if your horse looked to you for help when they went to panic rather than look to get away from you. Right? It's okay, man. Good boy. Good boy. Now we're going to start with just just a little bit of body language. As he comes towards me, I'm going to mirror him, and then turn and we'll go with him, and back up. Good boy. And I'm going to take some space. Good boy. And when I start to take a little bit of space at a time and occupy it, my space. Pretty soon, I could own the entire round pin or arena or pasture. And the principle works the same, no matter how big the area or what the shape is. If you define yourself as simply another prey animal, but the top prey animal out there, it doesn't take long for them, because they have a great social order, to accept that and look to you for what space is available for them. They say, okay, where can I go? And I'm not chasing him around the round pen. They couldn't work any harder than what he wants to. He's stressed enough. Good boy, here, here. Here, here. Good boy. Here, here. Good boy. Good boy. Here, here. Good boy. Okay. Good boy. Here, here. I know. Good boy. Good boy. There's some simple body languages that we're going to be using. You're going to see become evident as we go along. Flat hand up. Excuse me? A flat hand straight up like this is establishing space. You there, me here. You know? Back of the hand, obviously you want some more space. Right? Is there any question about that? You're pushing something out of the way. Does that make sense? Okay? Okay, what's this? What's that? Come here. Come here? I don't know. I think, yeah, this is your come here. Right? This would be a presentation or an offering or whatever. It's an open palm. So what would be the back of here? Like submission. Like I did bad. I'm not going to hit you. You could hit me. It's not something I want to tell them about. Okay? But the point is that there's basic body language that monkeys use in the woods, and it's universal, and all of us know it. We just don't necessarily use it. And horses do understand it. We just simply teach them to ignore it. Because we're people and they're horses, and what we do doesn't pertain to them. And that's the first thing that we need to start to break down. Because why do horses, as a herd, first of all, flock together? And second, why would they go off a cliff to their own death, blindly following a lead mare? How many horses would go off a cliff to their death for you? What makes that lead mare so important, or accepted, or that decision so well received that it's not questioned? What's different about that? It's that the lead mare has, or stallion, has established that the same things that are important to everyone else are important to them. Thus, if that lead mare makes that decision to go off the cliff, that must be the best one. So they all go. Without hesitation, without question, right off the cliff. So let's go for that tool. Let's see if we can make that horse understand that the same things that are important to them are important to us, which is basic space, proximity, pressure, company, acceptance. Acceptance is a big tool, but let's not give it away. How many people know the connotation of having a bottle baby horse? What's that connotation? You got a bottle baby, what do you got? Big problem. One that thinks he's a person, it's always in your pocket or walking over top of you because they just don't have any respect for him for that. Oh, it's mom. You see what they do to moms? They run up, wheel around in front of them. kick him a couple times. Stop, I'm hungry. There you go. Good. Now I can start to offer him a place to go. I can start to notice that, hey, what I'm saying does pertain to him. It really does. Good. Hey, man. Hey, now. You can't be turning your butt. The butt doesn't work. Easy, bud, easy. I don't know, if I saw someone that weighed about 1,000 pounds and had hands as strong as bowling balls, you know, made out of about the same stuff, I doubt I'd just rush right up to him and tell him, you know what? I think I'm gonna make you sit. I think you're going to carry my books to school today. Got a pretty big ego, don't I? But we snuggle up to the post. Hey, good. Hey. Good boy. And it is. It's a faster way. You're seeing a little different results, but you're also defining yourself as a predator. You are limiting the type and quality of your relationship. Good boy, that's the way. Good boy. No, that's mine over there. Good boy, over here. No, that's mine. There, you can come this way. There you go. Good boy. That's a good boy. Good boy. Hey, bud. This way. Good boy. Good boy. Hey, no, not that way. This way. Good boy. So that's a nice place. No. Mine. This way. That way. This way. There you go. Wow. Now he's starting to learn a little bit of, she is talking to me. He's not after me. He's just taking space. So although he still wants to get back to his friends and understand, he's going to get fighter with me. Good boy. Good. Hey, there's a person over here too. Look here. You know that major photographers do the same thing with their picture shoots, trying to get close to like those Rocky Mountain sheep and all that sort of thing. They'll squat down on their knees and they'll pick grass and all that. When the sheep see them do that, they're okay. We're not predators. Predators don't eat grass. Good. Good. That's it. Yeah, over here. Good. Okay. What does a horse do, or any prey animal, and part of their life cycle may include being a meal when they stop long enough? What do you suppose they do the first thing when they stop? Put their head up, look around, check it out. We have 2 legs, they have 4. That's never been an argument. But it does make some very interesting differences as far as perception is concerned. For instance, how many people lean forward to get the horse to go forward? How long? There's got to be somebody that still does that. Well, in order for a horse to go forward, they have to lean back so they can push off their hind quarter. We have two legs. For us to go forward, we just lean forward instead. So sometimes what we perceive to mean something isn't making sense to them.
It helps.
Legs. Good boy. That's a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Like, oh, it's my daughter.
Yeah, we do start
She's
here.
She's not here today. She'd be helping me. About this point, she'd ask me if she could ride that horse, Daddy. Or not yet. He doesn't understand the truth.
Do you remember how many feet that trailer is? How many miles? You don't remember? Remember that? Yeah, that's right. Part of it was 10.
So what's that? Door is important to me too. If we were out here in this arena, perhaps any one of you and myself, and we were talking, just visiting a little bit, pretty soon I kind of glanced around like this and I moved over here. And a bird pooped on me. Okay? Oh, it's distasteful and rather annoying, and we brushed it off. And we continued visiting a little bit, and pretty soon I hesitate and I look around and I move over here and I go right back there talking to you, and the bird poops on you. Push that shoulder off, and you look around and you don't see any birds. I don't know where this is coming from. We continue visiting, pretty soon I hesitate and I step over here. How many of you wouldn't know? There are those of us. Is confined or contained. What happens to the next once they're caught? What's that? I'm still looking. They want to fight. That's what happens to them when they're caught and they're eaten. I'm sure they do want to fight, but what happens to them is they get eaten. That's part of being a prey animal. Once they're captured, the next thing is swallowed, chewed up. When you got something like that hanging over your head, it's kind of hard to concentrate or learn new things when you're worried about the next thing, just losing it or becoming a lunch. That can be a real stress creator. So what we're trying to do right now is tell him, although I am assertive, I'm not aggressive. Although I'm not a leader, I'm still in charge here, and I'm going to offer you places to go. I want to talk to you. Now I'm going to tell him that I want to go the same place as he does. Good boy. Good boy. I want to go that way too. Good boy. You going this way? This way it works? Good boy. the next thing that you could do for a horse after they offer a behavior that you like? What's the best reward that you could give them? At that moment, back off? At that point, if we were being aggressive, back off would be it. If you're trying to get a horse to load in the trailer easily, and they finally load in that trailer after an hour and a half, what's the best reward you can give them? What? Get them out. Just say get them out. Take them for a walk. Get them out of that horse trailer. They do not want to be there. And from a horse's perception, it's almost comical, the horse trailer experience. I mean, you've got people that have taught you, this is how you lead, don't step on me, I'll jerk your head off for days if you walk on my feet, and they'll run over me. And then you have them one day walk out in the middle of the road or out in the front of the barn, and they stand up in this little box that's obviously not big enough for the two of you, facing them, going, jump on me. Say, this is new. I don't think so. I know what that does. No. Come on. Go away. Are you doing it? It doesn't have to do with the trailer. They just want to jump on you. They have trouble with that. And let's say we do convince them that it's the trailer we want them to go into, and we chase them course with whatever long enough, and they finally do jump into the trailer. And the average new horse owner slams those doors shut, ties everything down, and down the road they go. Well, in the horse's mind, he just was swallowed, and the lights went out, and the earth started to move, and he was effectively being digested. When he happened to get lucky enough to be belched out, the world had changed. Nothing was familiar. He was not sure if he wanted to be there. And then they're like, okay, we had a fun trail ride, let's load up and go home. Load up? I don't know what the world's going to be like. That's a trans-warp gate. Let's do a new dimension. I'm not going in there again. Good. When really the trailer's not the problem at all. It's the leading and positioning. It's the horse's perception of the individual making the request. Because if the same things were important to you that were important to that horse, they go off and play for it. So a horse trailer really wouldn't be that big a deal. Perfect. One of the other fun things about this type of training is it's not really invasive. We're not tying to the wall. We're not getting tied to the wall. It's kind of hard to get hurt. You can take it as slow or as fast as what you want to go. And you're not going to run out of horse. You say, well, how long can you do this? How long have you got? And your horse will get better exponentially. In other words, as you build a foundation and you begin a little base, communication rather than specifics allows you to continue forward rather than lose ground or have to start again when you wish to create a new behavior. Did you follow that one? Did anybody not follow? Okay. If you're teaching a specific, like stop or back up. Let's say back up. station specific, like backup. And your cues are not part of a language or have a relationship with all your other cues, then after you taught the horse to back up, when you wish to teach the horse to stop or rock onto his hindquarters or make a right turn even, you've lost all the work that you did to teach him to stop. He'll still stop, but you're starting over to teach him a new behavior because you don't have any tools or any residuals from your last behavior that you can use or relate. And horses have such a great understanding of concepts, why not take advantage of it? That's the wrong thing. This one. Good. No, no. No, no, this one. Good. Here. Up. Okay, now we're going to tell him, from now on, I don't want you to point your bottom at me. Because anytime their bottom comes all the way around, a couple things happen. One, they totally lose sight of you, right? For that moment, they don't have a clue where you're at. Second thing, if the horse saying, for all intents and purposes, out loud, I don't wish to have anything to do with you. You are not important to me in my world here. Okay? And that's very disrespectful. And they don't make halters that fit that in. Unless you're going to take their temperature or they're sick, there's really no reason why you're pointing that. Do you know why those horses at the fair are so sour by the end of the fair? You go to the stalls and all of them just have their ears pinned back and they're standing there in the back of the stall and just going, if you do get their attention, they're We've had about 5,000 people come up and tell them that they're nothing. Hey, Flicka, hey, Flicka. Oh, see what pretty face. How many times do you have to be insulted before you just kind of take the whole race and tell them, get out? But all someone would have to do is leave with an acknowledgement to that horse that they had been acknowledged. Good. Good. And that just means leaving it sideways, replying back. Good. We're paying attention, right? You know, the most dangerous horse to have around is the one that doesn't know where you're at. It's the horse that doesn't express themselves. Now who's in the middle around here? Those horses that don't express themselves, you don't know what's coming until it's there. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what to expect. So when it does, it's a good goal. He named that too. That's what it's named. So I did a clinic up in a Gig Harbor or someplace. And the only person to be hurt by one of the horses all day long was the mother of this little girl who brought in her 18-year-old, been to fair forever, 4-H gelding that was so incredibly dead gentle that they never even tied him in the horse trailer when he had to stand out there in the yard. They just left him. But for that moment, when she walked down the aisleway with her daughter leading the horse in front, the horse's mind went way out there to those horses out there. And he stopped, and he was looking out there like that at all those horses, and that's where he was for all intents and purposes. And one of those horses out there where he was touched him on the bottom, and he kicked her right in the knee. Look at that. It wasn't that she startled him. It was just he didn't have the need or feel the need to know where she was. So your horse should know where his human is today. These are important things for our safety and theirs. Okay. Good. No. Communication and understanding in the next 45 minutes, maybe. So he'll let me pet him. Calls on it. I figure at that point it takes about a half hour to ride. I don't talk to him. It's like, so like I said, the first thing that we have to do, and the most crucial, is defining who we are in this relationship. And that doesn't come by strapping on a big pair of spurs, getting a bigger club, a bigger whip. You don't have to be strong to be leader, right? And you don't have to be smart to be aggressive. Because if that were true, the horses would be instinctive. Once you can begin to develop that horse following suggestions rather than cues or commands, as you develop that tool right there, good boy, you'll be amazed where it leads you. You can suggest to a horse via a little bit of body language or mannerisms, any behavior that you can imagine a horse doing. I've taught like my last 4 or 5 horses to lay down by sitting on my behind in the middle of the arena, and it takes about 20 minutes to an hour, and they come lay down next to it. And because I attach myself to it, I can then just ask for it when I want it. And they come to do it. Or if a horse goes and offers a behavior, a he's never cantered with me before. Wait a minute. He's not ready to canter. I haven't taught him that yet. Oh, vain mortals. They were cantering for quite a while. You didn't have to teach them. There's nothing you'll want to teach a horse. They don't already know how to do. It's a matter of getting it done when you want it. Like, okay, I want you to do that particular behavior now because it's my choice, not because it's your idea or inclination. Once you can present left, left, my left, this right, there we go. Good. And you can present, good. There you go. And you can present a left, good, and then a right. No. A right, what's this one? Good. You can also present forward and back, and up and down. Well, you'd be amazed where it takes you. There's one of my young students back there. That's Whitney Houston. Wave, girl. There you go. See, she's a good student. She's only had a few lessons. She's kind of been surprising herself. We've been giving her lunge lessons on this little 3-year-old gelding without any reins, and actually I'm just there as a safety line to give her a little confidence. Hey, good. And she does all of her turns and stops and backs and transitions just off her leg and where her body goes. See him look around and then accept my response to that stimulus that was out there and follow me. Really depersonalize rather than personalize the reprimand. We don't want them to acknowledge you hit them. We want them to acknowledge that their behavior caused a problem. Connect the reprimand or any pressure directly to their behavior, and they'll know what it's for. Plus, they can't blame us for it then. I mean, if you climb up a ladder and jump off, you blame the ladder or the ground when you hit it. You can hit the ground pretty hard. If the ground doesn't jump up and beat on you a few times more, or anticipate you falling off the ladder again and come up and just plug you further. Right? Okay? But sometimes we do that to our horses, and that's not fair either. Okay? When it's due, it's due. That's a fact. Good. Good. But the punishment should always fit the crime. You never hit the ground any higher than you climb. This is established. Only from an established position can you push, pull, or off. That bird just pooped. Silly bird. Good. That's another one. Good. Good. Hey. Hey. Good. No. Good. Hey. Good. Hey. Say no. Here. I'll let you. Good. Come on, I'll catch you. No. It's just my pride. Don't worry about that later. Good. 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 Don't do it. Yeah. Good. Good. People ask, how do you know or how do you decide how much pressure to put on a horse? Well, only enough to get a response. Anytime the pressure exceeds that amount, hey, then you've distracted the animal from the subject, and they're concentrating on the reprimand. So nobody's getting any benefit from it. We don't want to distract them. We want them to just see the result. In order for them to see a result, first you have to present a request so there's a result to follow. But I see people stand there with their horses, just with the halter on them, and the horse looks off over there, and they're just talking to them, and they haven't asked the horse to do anything, and they'll go, jerk, pay attention! To what? What did you ask that horse? Well, he wasn't paying attention. They didn't say anything. I mean, if you're not saying anything, why should I be listening? And if you don't have something to say, why should you be talking? I don't know. I love my horses too much. I get into it. Good. There you go. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not out here with apples and carrots, but neither am I out here with hobbles and malaria. I do discipline my horses. I will meet whatever aggressiveness that they perpetrate with the same aggressiveness. I'll match it or mirror it. Hey, you're not listening. Here, close. Please. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought you'd stop. See, if I go, he stops. Good. You okay? I was scared. Good. See how much quicker he stopped out there? And he tried it all the way up. I didn't mean to hurt you. Good. Have you ever seen a horse pat another horse? Kidding. You understand what I mean, right? I was good boy. Have you ever seen an occasion where a horse gets patted by another horse? Every horse is different. Some horses really like that. My Stallion does. He just soaks it up. I can leave welts on him with fingerprints. And I'm telling him he's a good boy. But I can take one finger and tap him on the shoulder and knock him down. I tell him he's wrong. No, that's it. Now. Good. The other nice thing about teaching a system of communication rather than a specific of a specific being, the horse allowing you to climb on his back without moving, or not being afraid of a single tarp, or not running out the stall door when you're cleaning it. Okay, teaching them a system of communication rather than that, or loading in a trailer, for instance, when people take that as a specific, that's what they're after, loading in a trailer. With this sort of work, you can stop at absolutely any point you want to and you lose nothing. In fact, when you take the horse out the next time, it's usually better than when you took it away. There's nothing not about it. So these are the rules. Every language has rules, right? And grammar and how things are put together, male, female, and masculine things. He was videotaping to show me, and as the horse came back across this, 150-foot arena or whatever, rather than going across the jump or over this little jump that's right out in the middle of the arena, he just trotted around it. And I was pretty perplexed by that and didn't really know what to do about it. And he just turned his back to the horse and shrugged his shoulder. The horse trotted up next to him and everything. And he walked off and said, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to wait and see Darik, see if he's got any ideas. They don't want you to keep doing that. Of course, turned around, peeled off, ran back, running the jump, running off, and that was on videotape. And that is really the ultimate what we're looking for, is when lack of acceptance can put sufficient motivation to create a desired behavior. Why should we have to be the bad guy all the time? Why not just tell them, you know what? I would love you so much more if you would. Good boy. Oh, with me. Come on. Good. Oh, there you go. Reach out. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Good. Anybody ever seen Arab halter? Arabian halter classes? Yeah, that's how I train my halter. I start out with a natural response, turn it into a trained response, speed up the game. Good. Me, I know. Good. Here. Here, I want to talk to you. Hey, come here. Good boy. Good boy. Attach yourself to a behavior that you like, recreate your part of it, and then his line will be ones you attach yourself to. My black stallion will come up into the, I was 16 and black raven. Can you believe that? Yeah. One day I was at mom and dad's and the cows came running up out of the back pasture for some reason. I was weeping along and he started that prance, stallion just started bouncing up into the air, way up in the air and arching that neck. It's just gorgeous, right? Well, I attached myself to that. To this day, when we go out and do performances, I lift my arm up, where are the cows? And boom, he's up there. I don't think he's still looking for the cows anymore. We forgot all about what started the argument. But the behavior still exists because I want you to good. Come here. No, no, no. Good. Right. Right. No. Good. Come on. Good. Good. Come on. Reach out here. Let's go. Good. Good. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good. Quickly. Hey, this way. This way. Good. 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 What? Hey. Hey, what are you doing? Come here. Good. Hey. Well, I know what you're doing. Well, us having these small little bodies with not much length to them, and we don't have a neck to speak of as far as horses are concerned. So that's what we're going to use our arms for. We show them direction. Up. Stop. Yes, ma'am. Say, would you move back just a little bit? Because you're really making it nervous. No, it's not really acceptance yet. It's more like, I see you there, come on. Give me a little bit. Now, if he dropped his head all the way down to the ground and did that, he'd say, you're pushing me to the corner. And if he pawed with his nose down while he did that, he'd tell me, I'm going to take your head off if you get another step closer. Here, buddy. Good. And so many people don't read that. So that's a really good question. You know, people don't realize where an animal is looking or how they feel. And how a horse feels is probably the most important part of how they perceive what you're saying. Because it really doesn't matter what you think or mean to say. What matters is what they hear. We're going to back up now, 2 steps. First, we got to get straight on. And 1, 2. Here we go. That was 3. Oh, I didn't shift. Good. Darn birds. Come on, here. Fast. paper. Nothing to do with us. Good. Hey. Here. Good. 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 Open palm. Good. Turn the shoulder. Tell them what you like and you don't like. Guys, if you don't talk, how are we going to build any type of relationship? You can probably build a little more of a relationship through communication than being a dictator. Dictators probably never know how the subjects feel. It's better when it's a joint decision because then you have behavior that lasts the horse an entire lifetime rather than a horse that simply allows you to do whatever to them because they don't have a choice and you're inflicting yourself on them. If you can instead, come on ladies, how many girls don't know this? Make them think it's their idea. They're far more agreeable that way, I think. It's why girls do so well with it. Guys, we're pretty honest. You know, hey, do it. I said so. It's my idea. And as we say that to 1,000 pounds of bone muscle, because I said so. My idea. That's why there are a lot of cowboys that walk stiff like I do. Not moving away because he nipped at me, he nipped back at me. This is a cue. Anytime your horse begins to get irritated with you, note it's because you're either giving him the same cue again and you didn't insist upon it, or and so he feels you're just annoying him, right? Or he feels that he's one up on that social ladder, so you don't have the right to be telling him anything, thus he's disciplining you. Okay? They should not get irritated with you. Those little grandmothers that grab those big old football players by the ear and drag them off. That big old football player ever think of arm wrestling with Granny. Not up forever. Because there's a respect there involved. Neither would Granny ever hurt her grandson. Okay. So if he becomes a little aggressive, I have to become a little more directive. Not necessarily aggressive, but directive. Hey, over there. Good boy. Because if you're not directive and you're not in charge of the job, how important is your acceptance of the job? Doesn't mean a darn thing, does it? Hey, nice job, guys. Yeah, right, get over there. You walk by all those construction workers, you go, hey. I want to be careful with that. Good. Hey. Good. Hey. Good. I'm calling you. Good boy. Good boy. How about step back? Face me. Thank you. Looking out here, if you chose, good. Good. Yes, I asked. I asked. Because I asked. No, I did not say go anyplace. Okay. Hey, watch out for those birds. Hey. No. Hey. Hey. Good. Up. Good. No. No. It's good. Good. Here. Anytime a horse paws, it's just a request. Put it in context. They paw when you're about to feed them. They paw at the gate. They paw on the cross ties. They paw when the farrier's doing the feed. All of them are just requests. Good boy. Requests to be let in, let out. Feed in the manger. Let's be doing something about irritation. No. Good. Come on back. Come on. Come on. This is what we're doing now. Please. There. No. Over here. This I haven't touched you. Doesn't mean not to leave. Darn birds. Come on. You want to get control of an area? Take a bigger area. Good. Good. Hey. Hey. Good. Right here. Right here. Right here. Yes. Good. There you go. Good. That's good. 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 Yeah. Up. It's me now. Don't lose it. Gotta hang on. No, that's losing. Good. 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 In your spot. Good. No, your spot is there. Hey. Hey. Your spot is here. Good. That's good. No, we don't run around like idiots. Maybe not the mules. Mules don't need other mules. They're a hybrid, they're not going to reproduce. They have to survive. Your survival depends on everything together. Good moderation. Come on, make a two hands. Hey. Come on. Good. It's okay. Come on. Good boy. Come on. This is good. Good boy. Good. Come on. Come on. Now, me backing up when he backs up, part of that right there is me telling him, you know, if you're afraid of me, maybe actually be afraid of you. So do you think maybe when we're aggressive to them that they feel that maybe they should be aggressive to us? But if I dropped you on some strange planet or with some particular group of people, and every time you saw those people, they communicated through poking each other with sharp sticks or, you know, things like that. When you really want to get your point across, it was important that they understand something, you probably go get yourself a sharp stick. That's how they communicate. That must be how they communicate. They're doing that with you, trying to get you to understand things. That must be their language. Good. 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 Go back here.
How do you know how long to work with a particular horse until your patience runs out, or half an hour, or 20 minutes?
If their patience is running out, then either A, you're being too passive and you're not being directive, or you failed to express your point consistently. In other words, you've changed how you're trying to get them to do the same thing. In other words, if I'm out here and we're working on teaching you to sit down in this chair, and we're out here for about half an hour and you still haven't got it, and then all of a sudden I say, okay, let's change things. Stand up. I'm saying something different than I was before, but really in my mind I'm still trying to get you to sit down in the chair. And after that doesn't work for 5 or 10 minutes, then I start with something else. Boy, you did pretty good job too, patience, because I wasn't consistent. But if I stayed the same all the time, you only need to do 3 things to be a pretty decent trainer of anything. You have to be expressive, consistent, and fair or honest. And if you can do those 3 things, you can teach pretty much any horse to do anything. Good. Good. That's right. Good. Good. No, that's not it. Good. No, I don't want to do that. Good boy. Playing a little bit of the innocent really takes you a long way. Many children do so well with horses anyway. But they really believe that that horse is going to do it for them, or that they have the control or the right to ask. And then a terrible thing happens. We grow up. You know, and we learn you can be hurt. We learn that people don't always do what they're supposed to do. We learn that understanding is a real crutch. And then we put in a request that we don't have a clue whether or not it's going to happen.
Let's go look at it.
And that doubt is translated by that horse as you not having the right or the authority to put in the request. Good. No. Come on. And if somebody doesn't have the right to ask you to do something, what are you going to do if they insist that you do something? They didn't have the right to ask you, let alone the right to insist. Take your hand off. Or at least not listen to them. No. Come on. I know. I'm sorry that... Come on, go back to that arm. Come here. So you're afraid, huh? Can we do this thing? Good.
Seems like it takes a lot of patience, time, and softness to get to that first point of being approachable.
Not necessarily always softness. I mean, it takes a lot of practicing. If you learn any new language, it takes some practice. You know.
Or is it his personality? Is it his personality? Is it just difference
Right,
from?
one of the reasons why we chose this particular horse first. It was actually pretty much chosen for me when I got here. He was in the aisleway, and they said this horse fights back. Then there was one that was really easy, and one that they said was awfully timid. Hey. Oh, thanks. Come here. Hey. Hey. Good. Good. Hey. 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 Good. Ooh, wrong hand. Hey. Good. 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 No. Over there. Over there. Good.
Do you think the average person would have the patience to spend that amount of time, or would they just lasso him and want to pull him around?
Well, that's part of that, either developing a relationship or, hey, I don't know, you can take some time and communicate, and things can be very willing, and it can be a relationship that lasts a lifetime, or you can throw in together. And an employee works from 9 to 5, a slave does only what he has to do, but a prince stays till the job's done. Does that make sense? Good conscience. You're late. Hey, sit over here. You're late. Let's go. Good. 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 Okay. Here. Hey. And up. Good. Up. Okay, look at the gate. Check the gate out together. Come here. Look. You wanna walk with me? Come on, buddy. Come here. Good. Hey. Hey, where you going? Come here, it's okay. Good boy. Good. 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 Hey. Good. Good. Hey, 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 hey. What? You're tight space, kid. I don't know you. You. Get nothing from me. Hold yourself. Sorry, kids. Wasn't for you. He already knows what it's been. Good boy. You get up here. You, son, get up here. No. Good. Good. Hey. Good. Come on, no. Come on. Yes. Hey. Good. Good. Right here. Good. 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 You want to come this way? I'll go with you. Good boy. Good. Good. You sound good. I want to see what you sound like tomorrow. Good. Good. Come here. Good. 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 on any of these already. We can touch them, we can ride them. But first, what keeps a prey animal or a horse back away from you? Why is a horse afraid? Why is a horse hard to catch? Why are they trying to buck us off? What's the common thread here? What are they trying to do? What's the concept that they're expressing with all these things? Could it be that they don't know how they will be received, thus they're staying away? It's the question in their mind about what's going on. For example, a predator moves into the anticipation of contact. You run from a dog, he runs after you, right? That's a predator. A prey animal moves away from the anticipation of, no, a predator moves into the anticipation of contact. He's chasing, right? That's right. The prey animal is the one that moves away from the anticipation of contact. Okay, now once contact is made, he catches up with horse, likes horse. Now, what does the predator do? Pulls back or away once contact is made. And what does the prey animal do? Moves into contact once it's made. Does that make sense? Can we give that as a pretty common thread there? If so, could the anticipation of contact or interaction with people be seen as that anticipation of contact or doubt or question? Is he afraid of this event? Not anymore. It's just part of me, and I'm not going to eat him. If I'm not going to eat him, then he just gets nipped. They get nipped all the time. He's yawning here. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. Will you hurry up and get up here? Hey. Come here. Good boy. Come on. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Good. Hey. Good boy. Good boy. Are you coming to me or not? Come on. Well, where are you going? Where are you going? Here, I want to pinch you. I would swatch it, I would. Because that would be a lack of respect. There he goes to chewing and licking. I think chewing and licking like that, feel relaxed. You saw how I broke it down in the beginning. Just a simple turn, go one direction around the ring or the other, right? And then we went from those directions to maintaining a direction to stop, then we can reverse it, right? So now we can go up, no, whoa, no, that's not it. Up, say ho, right there. I. Don't. What? No. Okay. No, I'm sorry. No, I said. Good. No. Good. You know it. Stop backing up, thing. Hey. Stop backing up. Good. Good. There. Good. I'll lose this thing. Hey. Good. I'll give you this space. No.